Hola, I'm going to Galapagos with almost no money, no film crew, no makeup with friends except for the one I made. Just myself snorkeling with the sea turtles and the sharks, doing the yoga with the sea lions, and hiking one of the world's largest active volcanoes. Not to mention sampling all the amazing local cheap eats and experiencing all the sight and sound of this remote island. All done safely, inexpensively, and easily. Anything I can do, you can do. DIY destinations, Galapagos Islands, and you are invited. We are so fortunate to live in a small world with so many cultures, so much beauty, and so much diversity. The world waits for no one, and it's up to each of us to discover its magnificent destinations. I want to make travel accessible to all of us by showing how it can be done safely and inexpensively. Located in the Pacific Ocean surrounding the center of the Western Hemisphere, the Galapagos are an archipelago of volcanic islands, part of the Republic of Ecuador. These islands plays a critical role on Charles Darwin's development of his theory on natural selection and evolution. Since 1968, majority of its land formed Ecuador's first national park and the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Surrounding the waters represent one of the world's most important ecosystems and are a rich area of biodiversity. That's why I'm here, to understand and to get close to nature, to coexist with the wildlife, to learn about our history, and to appreciate the warm hospitality of its amazing people. Enjoy the pain on my leg? I'll start my journey from Quitos, the capital of Ecuador. It's only 900 kilometers away from the mainland. The most inexpensive way to get here is by swimming. It's free. But for me, I took a $4 ride-sharing app back to the Airport Express terminal to catch a bus to the airport. Good morning, and this is how we begin our Galapagos journey. It's about like 5 in the morning and we're back at the bus station here. And the reason I'm not taking a direct route from downtown Quitos to the airport is there's no such option on a budget, at least for this time of the morning. Now the best option is, this bus just pulled up, it's my bus, is to take the ride sharing program to the bus terminal here, and from here, spend $8 and head directly to the airport. At the airport, you need to line up and pay the $20 for the entry permit to the Galapagos. Cash only, please. I know, it's a total bitch. It's not over yet. So, bring some extra cash. You'll see. This flight is actually going to Bora first, but we stay on the plane, and then from there we are flying over to San Cristobal.
Until after takeoff. Please make sure that your cell phones and any other electronic devices are turned off. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, so what happened is most of the passenger actually left, so like this plane is almost like empty. So what's happening right now is they're going to refuel and they ask us to remain in our seats, and then we're going to take off. I think it's going to take more than 4 minutes, to be honest with you. That's Ecuadorian time. It's more like 20. about to touch down, touch the soil of the Galapagos Islands. One of the nuisance about coming to Galapagos is there's a secondary decoration of customs here. Once you get here, you give them the papers and you pay the $100, and actually no, $200 starting 2020 January. And then what happens, they scan your bags, they're X-rated, and then you come over here, you wait for your bags. I think we are, well, I hope it's coming soon, so fingers crossed. There's no ATM here. Once again, bring more cash. That looks so mine. So we got everything we needed. Well, I got everything I needed. Let's just walk to my hotel because it's only like 500 meters away. So I'm excited. Let's go. How much comes from Ecuadorian government? There's so many hotels that you can that's just like a block away from the airport, and they are like really cheap. Like we're talking about $20 US. Yeah, $20 US. Puerto Baquerizo Moreno is named after my grandfather. I mean, a former Ecuadorian president. The town is located in the southwestern coast of San Cristobal and serves as its capital. This is the oldest settlement in the Galapagos Islands, and today is heavily reliant on fishing, with 520 fishermen operating 212 fishing vessels of varying sizes. However, tourism is now on the rise on the coast of the town, as it is home to many popular attractions such as Interpretation Center of the Galapagos National Park and the beaches. Now this town is actually really small, and you can walk from anywhere to anywhere, and you keep going up the street is why I just came from the airport. If you keep going down is where we're going to hit our first attraction. Before we begin our adventure, make sure to bring your sunscreens, bathing suits, towels, and snorkeling gears. So, let's start with a walk along the Charles Darwin Ecological Boardwalk. At the end, you'll find a mini replica of HMS Beagle, the site where this famous ship dropped its anchor in the September of 1835 after crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Little did anyone know at the time, it was here that led to Charles Darwin producing one of the most influential theories in science. Darwin had 34 days to explore the Galapagos. However, like most visitors to the island before him, he thought it was a bleak and ugly place. It wasn't until later he caught and decided one of the marine iguanas and realized they didn't catch fish or sea life. In fact, they solely feed on algae. It took 13 years after returning home for him to finally publish his theory on evolution and natural selection in The Origin of Species. Across the entrance to the Interpretation Center, there is a little beach where I met and got close to my new friends. I don't think they are on Facebook. Like, they are just not afraid of humans. Like, this is how close you can get, but don't get too close. Like I say, it's against the law. But they are cute. I have to admit, they are really cute. Look at that. Oh my god, there's a baby right there. I want my children now. I want to have children. The purpose of the Interpretation Center is to take visitors through the history and the settlement of the islands. Visitors can learn about the natural history, human history, and the conservation via the panel in English and Spanish, as well as smaller exhibits and old photographs. At the end of the exhibit, it also contains a paved path with a small network of hiking trails that leads to a panoramic lookout above a protected cove and the town from its vantage. So, once you get to the end, well actually not the end here, it splits off, there's two paths Now, the first path this way is down at the seaside. The other side is where you can go and see the view from above. I suspect. I'm just thinking. What I have to say is, we are here. This is the boat. We're hiking up right now. So you see these stairs? Oh. Make sure you get a hiking boot or hiking shoes. I think we're almost there. You see that? Oh. I don't know if I just realized it now, but I think it has the cleanest air in all of Ecuador that I've been to so far. Really? By the way, did I remind you to bring your bathing suits, towels, and snorkeling gears? So once you get down to the base, you get a really nice view of like a cove right here, and you get to meet lots of new friends like this guy right here. But just remember, don't get close to them. Another thing is, if you brought your bathing suit, you can go to do some snorkeling. Now, before you rent any snorkeling gear, check with your hotel to see if they can lend it to you for free. By the way, everywhere on the trail, you'll be reminded of this Charles. He's popular here, especially with the chicks. Older chicks. I think I need to be manly like him by trying out the big guns. There are several of them here for you to practice with, but please, don't step on the little guy. They are everywhere too. As you continue, one of the trails also take you directly to one of the most spectacular beaches, Punta Corolla. This is what I recommend you in your day. So what I recommend is you come down here at the sunset, because you actually go and get a nice sunset from this end, and you get to enjoy with the animals. Now, it is getting dark, and after all the hiking, I'm so in need of some sugar. One of the things you can try on the street if you need some sugar is actually cakes, and they cost about $2.50. I just had a bite. It's not bad. It's pretty decent. The price here in Galapagos is slightly more because everything has to be imported, so don't expect to what you pay in the mainland. But that's not enough. I truly deserve a good meal. As long as you don't have a hot date or being a crazy rich Asian, a cheap meal will do. This is what I'm going to do. This is the main boardwalk, and it's full of restaurants, and it's super expensive. Like, we're talking about a meal probably end up costing you 20 bucks or more. Now, this is what you do. It costs you $5 for an entire meal. Where do you get it? One of these side streets. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cheap eats here. I'm not kidding. This is what I have for dinner. So today, I'm gonna have 1/8 chicken. The whole meal costs $4.50, which is fairly reasonable. This one, I ordered a Coke. It's $1.50. It's really not bad. I definitely need this. And so, come with the soup, by the way. After filling up, it's time to get a good night's sleep because you definitely need it. In the morning, we'll be heading off to one of the most popular day tours. Our destination is the Rock Island. There is no need to book in advance since there's daily departures and a lot of competition all over the town. You might even able to find last minute deals for $100 or less. So good morning. We are going to go somewhere really special today, and going to go on to a little tour actually. So I actually came here to basically try out the wetsuits and the fins and everything because we are going to go snorkeling. The port is actually too shallow to actually hold on to a large boat. So the water taxi actually bring us to the main boat where we're going to be heading out to the sea. The ride takes about 45 minutes to our first stop, the Grand Beach. You only have one life to live, so you might just do it. So we just stopped here right now, and your choice: snorkel, swim. We're gonna head over to the beach, I think. I don't know in what particular sequence, but we'll find out when I find out. Landing here in Cerruco. Cerruco in Spanish means rich hill, and this is one of the most beaches here in the Galapagos. Now, as you can see, some of the tracks along the way, and these are sea turtle tracks, and basically that's where they nest here. Also, on the other side of this beach is a little bit dangerous because the wave comes really strong and people get hit by it and die from it, but there's still a lot of fishermen that come here to fish because it's a really rich fishing area for them. The Cerro Brujo actually means Witches Hills. The main attractions are Coral Sand Beach, one of the best white sand beach in the Galapagos for walking, bird watching, and encountering wildlife. It's also home to blue-footed boobies, marine iguanas, brown pelicans, frigid birds, Sally lightfoot crabs, sea turtle, and rays. As the official runway director for the New York Fashion Week, I know a thing about 6 packs. I don't think I have it, but I'm not going to deter me from going to try out snorkeling here. Hey, you already been here and you already pay your dues, right? It's really cold. I'm going to man it up. Oh my god. The water is a little bit murky on this side, which is so you can't really see too much. That is definitely my new bestie. Yo. Yo. What's up? Hey guys. However, if you want to more than just like on your loved one's social media, this is a cool idea. Another interesting thing you can do on this beach, I take full credit for this. Pick up a stick, write people you love, their names. We are on our way back. Pretty fast. I still have to learn Cerro Brujo. Cerro. Okay. With that being done, it's time to head back for lunch and our way to the Kicker Rock Islands. So yeah, to welcome with a lunch. Yes, it's complimentary. There's rice, there's salad, there's some plantains and some fish. And you got to, come on, if you come to Galápagos, you have to try out the fish. It's surrounded by sea. They will never screw that up. Once again, bon appetit. The Kicker Rock, also known as Leon Domino, is a remainder of a volcanic cone eroded by the sea across hundreds of years. Above the water, the monolithic rock towers 500 feet above the Pacific Ocean. This site is one of the best snorkeling spots in the Galápagos, but safety comes first, so listen up.
You can easily get cut. So the idea is to snorkel close to the wall but don't touch it. That's it. Down!
Bye!
Caliente, caliente.
Okay, I'm going.
Bye, Sarah. Come back in one piece, please.
Apparently they say there's sharks in the water. I hope to see them, but not being bit by them. So wish me luck on that one. With that being said, I think I'm next, so... The natural erosion of this ancient cone has formed a channel between the rocks that produce a perfect habitat for the Galapagos sharks, white-tipped sharks, large rays, reef fish, sea turtles, and sea lions. By the way, it is not easy. You either get a good workout as the currents sometimes can be very strong. So stay close to a tugboat and take a break if necessary, like me. But I'm going back for round 2. That was an incredible round 2, and okay, I'm ready to go back onto the boat. Just got dressed, survived. Whoa, the salt's really getting to me. That's quite something. It's a good experience. Saw some great. You see saw a few turtles, lots of cute fish. I need to get some burgers and fries first. After returning to shore, I'm absolutely hungry. So sadly, I put my wife priority aside and temptation got the best of me. Now one of the inexpensive thing you can eat in town is empanadas. Empanadas is basically South American version of dumplings, and you'll see Chilean, they eat baked empanadas. Over here in Ecuador they eat fried empanadas. It's a sweet, it's actually very sweet. I'm not too sure what it is. It's called morocho? Morocho! Okay, yes. So, morocho is a classic Ecuadorian comfort drink, similar to pudding milkshakes, like a thick, sweet drink made with morocho corns, milk, cinnamon, sugar, and raisin. But that's not going to get me too far, and to prove that you don't need to be a crazy rich Asian to eat well, here's another round of $5 meals. This time, grilled chickens.
Just like last night, it's basically a local place catered to locals. So same thing, your diet consists of rice and beans, and over here you see plantains, as well as grilled chicken, and there is potatoes right there.
Sadly, this is how I ended my journey out Galapagos. Just joking. Hell no. Next morning, we're heading to Santa Cruz. Let me tell you, you do need to be somewhat of a crazy rich Asian to pay for the ferry. They cost around $25 to $30 each way. Oh boy, this is the only way, unless you can swim 100 kilometers without getting a bad sunburn. But I'd like to thank my sponsor Book EC for sponsoring all the ferry rides in the Galapagos. Thanks guys!
So we are at the ferry piers here, and today we're heading off to the Santa Cruz. And you have to come here at least half an hour in advance to check in to your ferry, and then leave your luggage. And also you have to wear one of these. They're gonna give it to you at all times. With that being said, let's get going. I'm excited.
Although my sponsors saved me from the need to find a sugar daddy, sugar mommy, no one can save you from the bumpy currents and the potential pain in the butt. So please, don't overindulge in a big breakfast. You'll seriously regret it later.
Actually, this land, it's really bumpy, but you should sleep through the trip, and so I think arrive at night ships.
I think the boat is a little bit too deep to dock to the port, and I think I believe the water taxi is surrounding us because we're gonna have to transfer onto the water taxi.
And also make sure you actually bring some spare change, because the water taxi is not including your fare. It's 50 cents or $1, depending when you're going to be here.
Santa Cruz Island is situated in the center of Galapagos archipelago. Its capital is Puerto Ayora, with a population of 12,000. It is the most populated urban center in the islands. The town is named in the honor of Charles Ayora, an Ecuadorian president. The most popular inland attraction is the Charles Darwin Research Station, and that is where we're heading off next. If you don't want to walk, the taxis are $1.50 anywhere in the town. It drops you off at the front gate, where free shuttles will take you around, or you can enjoy a nice trail called Path of Tortoise.
So just want to let you know, it's really hot here, and if you need to take a rest, please, and bring a bottle of water. I made that mistake by not doing so. And also sunscreen is really important. The good thing is there's always shade everywhere, so take advantage of that. But right there, Path of the Tortoises continues.
The The Charles Darwin Research Station is a biologicals research station operated by the Charles Darwin Foundation. Founded in 1959 under the auspice of UNESCO and World Conservation Union, its objective is to conduct scientific research in the environment education for conservation. The research station is also home to a famous Galapagos tortoise, which when fully grown can weigh up to 500 pounds and reach up to 6 feet in length. One of the main activities is a breeding program for many other endangered tortoise species, which allow you to see tortoise at all stages of growth from the unhatched eggs to fully grown adults. So the saddleback tortoise can only be found here in Galapagos Islands, and one of the last remaining survivors is Lonesome George. He's quite elder here, almost like a superstar. So I'm just going to check him out, and maybe if we're lucky, he will add me on Facebook. Actually, it is too late. The poor George, last known individual of the Peanut Island tortoise species, passed away in 2012 and has since become a face of Galapagos Islands and an icon for conservation. The research station also contains an indoor exhibit showcasing different marine life that are found in the Galapagos, not to mention showcasing some of the historical discoveries by the Charles Darwin, as well as information on some of the ongoing modern research that's still being conducted by the researchers all over the world in the station. There's also a small exhibit dedicated to Galapagos marine life, especially the dangers and the impact of plastic pollution that are affecting the marine life and the environment. But I'm hungry. The other day we had the fried empanadas. So this empanada is actually a Chilean version, which is actually big. I returned to my hotel for another round of shower. It's absolutely boiling here. I was about to finish when the arrest warrant come knocking. Maybe not. The tour guide came to pick me up to the meeting point. So as you can see, I'm hiding the shade again. I mean, I like the sun, but it is a bit too much. This is near the equators. Make sure you get some sunblock one more time. We are going on to the bay tour. I heard it's really nice. We can go and see some really nice sights and then do some snorkeling. So that being said, that's my sponsor, by the way, Book EC. Now, for those of you who knows, I'm on a rowing team, so that means I'm a very good swimmer. But regardless, the rule here is you have to put on a life jacket, and it is a bit tight. It is a bit tight. It means I have to lose some weight. But that being said, I think we are on our ways.
Los tickets.
Regardless which company operates the tour, it's the same. Usually costs around $30 to $40. So bargain and bargain hard. But I like to thank my sponsor Book EC for providing this complimentary and bumpy tour. This is actually the site that we're going to be snorkeling at. And once I guess it's all set, I still have to change into my scuba diving gear. I'm going to join the gang. That's what the orange people are right there. So, that being said, I'm really excited. Yes, the water is crystal clear, so be prepared to meet some friends, like this guy right here.
Oh my god, I can't believe what I got. Like, that shark was so big. It was like about maybe like a meter and a half, 4 or 5 feet in front of me. And that was just so incredible. I will never forget this.
But we are not done yet with snorkeling. I wish second round was as good as first. It's a bit clouded. So if you had enough snorkeling, don't worry, we are going to burn some calories by hiking. The guy knows a perfect place to do it. You can also visit Los Perla Beach with an 8 minutes boat ride from the Puerto Ayora piers.
That's how it is. Crabs, look at that.
Where are the crabs?
So make sure you bring a hiking boot because there is a bit of a hike on this island. There's a lot of cactuses, and the tour guide warned us not to touch them, not to touch the animals, just enjoy.
Playa de los Perros is an exclusive beach where you can only access by boat. Although you can't swim in this beach, there is a viewpoint where if you are lucky, you can see the white tipper reef shark swimming. There is also a hiking trail with plenty of nature, surrounded with enormous cacti and many sea iguanas are resting in the sun. So, there is a little warning.
You know, sometimes you can find those really cool creatures, but you really have to look hard because they really camouflage. And here's one of them. There's a thing right there. That is the iguanas. Right there.
And no, as tasty as these delightful crabs are, you are not allowed to eat them or take them as pets. In fact, you can't take them as souvenirs home from here. So please respect the conservation rules. The sun goes down early. By 6 p.m. it's basically complete darkness. But the night just got started. If you wait long enough, you can actually see some baby sharks from the pier. But sadly, you also get to witness the cycle of life. Despite this, sea lions got injured by the sharks, the locals plead that nature should take its course. If you need to be hydrated, you get the best deals on drinks across from the piers. It is the only supermarket in town. This is where you come across escape the tourist price.
The price is the same for locals and visitors. So they cost range from $1 to $3. Not so bad. Honestly, one thing I did not expect here in the Galapagos, they have donuts. Oh my god, like it makes me feel so happy. But the lineup is just way too long, and I don't want to wait, honestly. So I guess I have to put this back because I really want it. But I just don't want to wait that long. I want to have proper dinner.
But don't worry, there's also a natural way to flew up right on the boardwalk.
Oh my god, it's really good. And the great thing about the straw is actually they use paper straw, so to be more environmentally friendly. Afterwards, this is what you get. You get the coconut and you eat it.
Not only you get a great coconut along the boardwalk, it's also where the locals hang out at night. First, you get to see many street talents, and best of all, the live performance will always be free. So make sure to cheer up and clap for these performers. Clap hard. In case you need to hire a bodyguard, I got you covered. There's even a taekwondo performance on some nights. These little guys might be small, but they can definitely kick some butt, Oriental style. Another evidence that Asian are taking over the world.
Now, no one told me Jesus was actually born here in the Galapagos, but from the look of this setup, it looks pretty convincing. Maybe it is true after all.
As you continue to walk along, you'll have a chance to pick up some local souvenirs and support the local economy, in particular, the local artists.
Near the fishing pier, there's actually a small handicraft market which you can come and pick up some souvenirs for you to take home. Now, always haggle and bargain, because it's part of local experience. Hey, if they complain, you can blame on me because I say so. Number two, make sure you support the local economy by looking at the tag. It's not made in China or something like that. I'd rather the money stays here, and support the artists which make these handicrafts.
But my favorite way of supporting the local economy and its people is by eating. No kidding. So let's check out the seafood night markets for the crazy rich Asians.
For those of you who like seafood, you're in for a treat because at nighttime, many of the streets are turned into a fish market. So what it is basically they close down the street and only accessible to pedestrians, and they put all the tables and also all the restaurants here. They put all the fresh catches with their specialties and whatever they are offering, and you get to pick and choose. The price here is a little bit pricey. However, Galapagos Islands surrounded by sea, they can't screw up on this one. I realized actually one of the dishes you can get here is it's called chive, and what it is actually swordfish. I believe it's swordfish, and they put some lime on it. Please keep in mind is don't eat it on the street. Because you're eating raw fish, there's a big possibility of food poisoning.
Yes, please do not eat any unrefrigerated raw fish to avoid potential upset stomach or food poisoning. Secondly, if you are not the crazy rich Asians, there's also budget menus. You just need to look hard. For the same price, there's also pizza. But come on, you're not coming all the way to Galapagos to eat pizzas or the Chinese food. It's really overpriced, and
I'm a big fan of fried rice, so I need to have my dose of it. I haven't had the fried rice in almost like ages, so I think the cook is making my fried rice right now. I'd like to see how it stands up to my standard. So what they have is actually over here, it's actually the chicken and also some barbecue pork.
Want a picture?
Huh? Oh, sure. They have to do that. Usually Cantonese fried rice have the barbecue pork and also some seafood. But this Galapagos, I'm very forgiving. You are given soy sauce and also ketchup. We don't use ketchup in fried rice. Especially the barbecue pork. Not 100%, but it's pretty close by. So good morning, and we're back at the pier. So we landed yesterday, and this is where we're going to be boarding for a ferry to go to the Isabela Island. And just make sure to come early. They have immigration inspection to make sure you don't bring any faunas into the island. What's happening right now is all the bags need to be searched because I think they don't want you to bring anything into Isabela. So we'll go from there. So that was fast. I just told them like I don't have anything, and I'm on my way. They briefly looked into my knapsack, but as you know, it's all for video and computer equipment. We're on the boat right now and just waiting to head off. They're lowering the luggage right in front of us to hopefully mine doesn't tip over or anything like that, because there's a lot of expensive video equipment in there.
And yes, it's a total bitch having to pay for the water taxis, but it does keep the local folks employed. Once again, I'd like to thank the support from Book EC for sponsoring this 2.5-hour ferry ride. Thanks, guys.
So just keep in mind, this can be a rocky ride, and don't eat too much. No more than anyone else. You may have to, you know. With that being said, have a smooth ride if you can. So I have a bumpy nap. We have coaches at the boat right now, walking to Isabela. So we just got captured by a pirate. I'm just joking. He's a taxi, water taxi driver. Here's another fee if you want to come to what's it called, Isabela. It's $10 for foreigners and $5 for Ecuadorians. So let's get this done over with.
Isabela Island is almost 4 times larger than Santa Cruz and named after Queen Isabella of Spain. At almost 1 million years old, the island was formed by the merger of 6 shield volcanoes. Majority of the population on 2200 lives on Puerto Villamil, a small port village located on the southeastern edge. Traditionally, the residents of this town have earned a living either through agriculture or fishing. Over the years, the government has made policies to move the population away from fishing and into tourism-based activities. The taxi costs $1 anywhere in town, and that is how I got to my accommodation sponsor Grand Hotel Tinteroas. They are budget hotels that offers comfortable air-conditioned rooms for both singles, couples, and families, with hot showers in a laid-back environment. The best of all, breakfast is included in the price of accommodation. Thanks, guys.
So after booking my tour and getting the essentials, sunblocks, I don't want to be burned again, I'm pretty hungry. So the tour is at 12:30, so I got lots of time. I came to a local place here and $5 deal. Can't get better than that. They give you a nice drink and I picked fish. And I mean, you can't come to Galápagos and not eat fish. So with that being said, let's try this. I'm really excited. Let's eat. It's super fresh. You can actually taste the sweetness in the fish's meat. And it comes with the rice, planting a little bit of vegetable on top. So with that being said, I'm gonna enjoy my meal. Bon appetit.
With that being done, once again, let's burn some calories and transform our 1-pack to 6-pack abs. One of the few afternoon tours is Tintelina Tours. It costs about $30 to $40, so shop around and bargain hard. As with any tour, it begins with a hookup in your hotel. I mean, pickup that is. The tour consists of taking a ride on a speedboat towards the Las Tintelinas, a chain of small islet located on the southwest of the town. The name Tintelinas of islet derives from the white-tipped sharks that inhabited the water surrounding the islet. This biodiverse site is home to sea lions, sea turtles, mata rays, and galactical penguins. In the edge of the land, you get to see many blue-footed boobies, a marine bird native to the subtropical and tropical region of the eastern Pacific Ocean, easily recognizable by its distinctive bright blue feet, which is sexually selected trait. So yes, the darker the color, the popular it is with the babes. I mean, booby babes.
The global warming. One of the rules here is we need to walk all the time inside the trail. If you go to take a picture, remember we don't use a flash in our pictures, okay?
The tour also includes a hike with a moderate difficulty around the islet. Some part of the path are a little rocky, so make sure to bring a pair of hiking boots.
Are we walking on lava? Yes, we got that right. We are walking on a lava.
On a clear day, you're able to see some white-tipped sharks without the need to go for a swim. During the hike, there's 1000% certainty you'll get a really bad sunburn without a strong sun lotion. Secondly, there's 100% chance you'll see lots of marine iguanas, or sea iguanas, or saltwater iguana, or galactical marine iguanas. It is a species of iguana found only on the Galapagos Islands. This iguana feeds almost exclusively on algae, and the large male dive to find its food source, while females and smaller males feed during the low tides. Marine iguanas vary in appearance and size, and between different islands and several subspecies are recognized. Although relatively large numbers remain, it is locally abundant. This protected species are considered threatened, primarily from El Nino, introduced predators, and chance events like oil spills. And of course, you definitely will catch a few of these friends along the way. And these colorful little guys, the Sally lightfoot crabs, are the most common crabs along the western coast of the Americas. The crabs live among the rocks at the often turbulent, windy shores and just above the limit of the sea spray. They are not picky eaters, often feed on algae primarily, sometimes sampling other plant matters, and dead animals. Yikes. after all that hike, it's time to get wet. But we won't need to go far. We'll be snorkeling between the narrow channels. As you can see, the visibility are not so impressive.
Wow, that's really beautiful. The crabs.
The tour takes less than 3.5 hours. Given it's still early, let's catch up with some really old friends at the giant tortoise breeding center. You can either burn some more calories with a 30 minutes walk from the town, or take a $1.50 taxi there.
We're here at another tortoise breeding center. I strongly recommend you come and see this one because it's partially funded by USAID, which means my American friends, you are paying for it. You get to see smaller ones which they are breeding, as well as full-grown sized tortoises. Sadly, there have been some tortoise theft, and the reality is they are hot in the black market. So with that being said, let's go and check this place out.
The center is home to the last remainder of Cerro Palomo tortoise, 4 males and 2 females. That's why the breeding center dedicated itself to get them to do more than a casual hookup without the use of modern app like Tinder, all for the purpose of increasing and stabilizing the population of this endangered species. The center also cares for more than 300 other Australian tortoises.
So they might be slow, but they will never get old. Right beside the tortoise breeding center, there's this trail right here, and what they say is it will lead you to a flamingo lagoon. So I'm gonna go and check this out. I hope it's impressive.
Along the flat boardwalk to Puerto Villamil, you'll enjoy many wetlands along the peace and calm. Although one of the lagoon is called Flamingo Lagoon, this poor soul is all by himself or herself. Perhaps it's time for him to sign up for plenty of fish. By the way, please stay away from the poisonous apples. I passed by the children's park on the way back to the hotel, and this is where the center of the late night, especially during Christmas. There's always a French ambulance nearby in case you have too much to drink. How about a French kiss? Once again, I'm hungry. Being on a budget, it means I'm always looking out for a deal. Typical street food costs about $1 to $2. But that's not enough for me. I went back to one of the many local diners for dinner.
So as you can see, it's getting late and it's already 8 o'clock, and I still haven't had my dinner yet except for the skewer down at the main square. But now I'm going to try the chicken and see how it goes. So it looks amazing. So you mix rice and beans together, give it a little bit more flavoring. It tastes like jasmine rice actually. Now the meat. It definitely tastes better than KFC.
However, it does not come with desserts, but don't worry, there's many pastry in town, pretty cheap too.
So as you know, I love pastries and I love sweets, and chocolate is definitely one of my favorites. And so I got this. Oh my goodness, it cost 50 cents. So let's eat. It's not as sweet as I thought, which is fine. I think it's gonna be definitely really filling. It's not like, it's mostly made from flowers and then just chocolate. morning we just got picked up by a bus here and we're heading off to the hike.
This is a half-day tour. Typically, the hotel pickup is 6:30 in the morning and finish off at 1:30 p.m. with the drop-off. The price range from $35 to $40, but just another reminder, there's always room for bargaining, and bargain hard.
If you want to use a bathroom, you should do it right here. I think that's a good idea because this will be 16 hours, not 16 hours, 16 kilometers. Oh, I need some coffee. 16 kilometers, 5-hour hike. So it won't be too nice if you have to relieve yourself.
Also remember, bring lots and lots of water. 16 kilometers is not a walk in the park.
So the first part of the hike is uphill. This is great exercise. Now it's flattened out for the rest of the 15 kilometers. Fingers crossed. Okay, we're going to walk this way.
By the way, I think this is a good advice.
Definitely need some sunscreen because it's really sunny up here. But sometimes you get into a shade like this. I think we are here. Oh, we get a few minutes. Oh, I want a burger and fries. Look at this.
Sierra Negra, translating to Black Mountain, is a large shield volcano at the southeastern end of Isabela Island with a rise to an altitude of 1,124 meters. Like other volcanoes on Isabela, it is believed to have been created from the mantle plume which has created the hotspot. Just like the age of my dad, the Sierra Negra and other volcanoes on the island is hard to determine as the surface is covered by young larvae, making it very difficult to determine. After 45 minutes hike, we got to our first, very brief break at our first viewpoint.
So finally we reached one of the beautiful viewpoints of the volcano Sierra Negra. And this volcano is the largest in South America. It's also active. The width, which is the west, is actually 10 kilometers across in diameter. The north is where the active part of the volcano is over 7 kilometers. As you can see, this is truly breathtaking. I think my friends my group's taking a rest. I don't blame them. It's half a hike. I think we already covered like 5K. We got another like 10K to go. I guess we keep going. It's all good. I survived. So we are 3.5 hours into the hike, still working on it. The surrounded by really nice scenery, which is really awesome actually. Look at that, another scenery. Another change of scenery right there, look at that. You got yellow, red, everything in between. It's absolutely gorgeous actually. Well worth it. If you ask me how I feel right now, I would say, I'm the king of the world! That's how I feel. Well, I'll do one more time. How's that? Hey, I'm gonna be here one. I'm the king of the world!
The volcano has the largest caldera and the most active of all galactical volcanoes. The most recent eruption begins on June 2018, where the previous eruption occurred on October 2005.
Just enjoying the moment, I guess.
For volcano, we have in the north side like a Ecuador volcano, a wall volcano. Wall volcano, the high side in all the Galápagos, this one have 1,701 meters. Next one, Darwin and Alcedo volcano, just in front. In the south side, Sierra Negra and Cerro Brujo volcano. This volcano forms part of the Isabela Island.
So you get a box lunch with apple, a pastry, and also a juice. You know, it gets by, it's not bad. And yeah, check out the view right here, it's pretty impressive. Good that I got a hiking boot, not running shoes. It's really sharp, you know, the rocks here, so keep that in mind when you come to this tour. Dripping in sweat. Oh, drink water, people, drink water. Oh, that German wasn't lying. He told me there's a hut here. I can take a few minutes rest. It's true. Are you fine? I think I'm going to die. No, I'm not fine. No, I'm not fine. Carry me down there. It's your fault.
Do you enjoy this hill?
I enjoy the exercise, yes, and the beautiful scenery. Do I enjoy the pain on my leg? No.
While the southern and the eastern side of the volcano is covered with lush tropical forest vegetation and fertile soil at moderate altitude, the higher reaches are more barren with bushes and grasses of moderate height of 2 to 3 meters. The northern side of the volcano is almost entirely devoid of vegetations with exception of some cacti, as it is being resurfaced in more recent times by the lava flow.
Whoa, this is such a long walk. We'll hike. Right back there. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. More burgers. Nice. Yeah.
The bus dropped us off approximately 1:45 p.m. at the hostel, and as usual, you know what to do.
And with all this equipment, yeah, taxi is the best way.
The chancho.
Yeah, that's a cool guy right there. Yeah. So there's a checkpoint here to see if you find organics to make sure you don't take anything out of the island. So I'm done, and they give you a little tag on here. So, with that being said, goodbye, Isabela. Bon voyage. Let's go.
Once again, it's ferry time, back to Santa Cruz Island. Ah, this is such a bitch.
On the way back, same deal. You have to get prepay water taxi ride and then check in to the ferry companies. You're really being included, by the way, because thank goodness I always have change on me, or else, boy, I have to swim all the way across to the ferry with my luggage.
Also, for those of you who's not a big fan of roller coasters or prone to seasick, listen up.
If you're prone to seasick, then sit in the back, so you won't have, you get less of that rocky movement. So I just hope this can be a smooth ride, you know what I'm saying? Try to have a nice nap. Frank goes first. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Next morning, it's time to fly back to Ecuador's mainland. This time with a flight out from the Santa Cruz, and we need to get to a nearby Selmore airport on the small Baltra island. If you got lots of time to kill, the cheapest way is to take a $1.50 taxi ride to the bus station and then take an airport bus to the Itaba Channel, and the bus leaves when it's full. It takes about an hour. A private taxi costs no more than $20 and about a 40 minutes ride.
You take a bus or a taxi, they drop you off right here at the channel. And from here we have to take a water taxi across to the Baltra. It's going Baltra? Baltra?
From here, you need a ferry crossing, costing $1. It takes less than 2 minutes. Now, I know this is a hell of a complicated and expensive total bullshit and a cash grab. With all the talks about environmental conservation, how about a nice bridge with a direct shuttle bus, huh? And oh yeah, finally there's a short shuttle bus costing $5 for a foreigner to finally take you to the airport.
The airport and the bus drop us right in front of the departure gate, and they said this is the greenest airport on the planet.
The non-stop flight to Guayaquil takes about an hour and 40 minutes, provided everything is nice and smooth. That's why I get started exploring the rest of Ecuador in a separate episode, and this is why I ended my magnificent journey to the Galápagos. There's so many reasons why you should visit Galapagos. To walk in the footsteps of Charles Darwin, to explore the unspoiled nature, and to enjoy the stunning scenic views. But for me, it's getting close and appreciating the wildlife that coexists with us, and realizing the importance and the need to protect the environment that we all share. I invite you to visit this pristine paradise to experience the best of what it has to offer, its wildlife. And most importantly, the warm hospitality of the people of Galapagos.